Hi, this is Sabrina with Port City Signs and Graphics. In this video, we're going to take you through the process of making a carved sign. We make them out of high-density urethane, or HDU. Here we go. HDU, or high-density urethane, is a wonderful material for outdoor signs. You may also hear it called sign foam, which is a brand name of HDU. HDU works incredibly well for carved signs, and we use it exclusively for our hand-painted outdoor dimensional signs. We used to sandblast our signs, but routing is much cleaner and more controlled. Not only does HDU carve easily and precisely, it's weather resistant. It's waterproof and stable in climate changes, which leads to a long-lasting hand-painted sign. Today we want to take you through the steps of making an HDU sign so you can be more informed in your buying choices. Each sign we carve out of high-density urethane begins with detailed programming of the software that drives our CNC router. We are aiming to make precise cuts for a sharp logo, or in this case, lettering, and if the sign is to be wood grain, that the carved wood grain looks authentic. This particular sign is what we call a name rider for a main sign. A rider is a smaller sign that quote-unquote rides under the main sign, typically for information that may change. In this case, the information is a dentist name. We made the main sign for this dental practice a few years ago. Now one dentist is leaving and another is joining. It's much more economical to replace the name rider than the entire sign. This sign is 70 inches wide, almost 6 feet, by 8 inches tall, so the carving takes some time. The router makes a few passes depending on the depth of the sign texture. After the graphics of the sign are carved, we have programmed the router to make additional passes with a ball nose bit to carve the wood grain pattern in a combination of short and long strokes. We program to control the speed of the router based on how much of the material is being carved in each stage to maintain the integrity of the material, and with harder materials, the bits. The end result in this case will be a wood grain texture sign, but when routing, we start out with the flat carve process, beginning with a 6mm bit first to route the inset, as we say, clear out the background, and then we follow with a smaller 4mm bit to make the more detailed cuts required to route the letters. In the last stage of the routing process, we move back to the larger 6mm bit to cut the sign out of the sheet, or route the edge. If the edge gets its own detailed cut, that takes place at the end, but in this case, the edge is flat and square. So this is the finished sign after the painting process is complete. It's ready for installation. So if you have any questions about carved signs, high-density urethane, give us a call, 910-350-8242, or check us out at portcitysigns.com and send us an email.